dating so frustrating? Why? Why?
Is to be more desirable, so I should just go to the gym. Baby girl, no. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. I've caught men taking photos of me in public.
Who does she think she is? Honey, I'm me, and I enjoy this process. I like to romanticize my life.
I'm feeling very against men right now. I think all of you hate me.
Women out here that are complaining that their man wants to touch them too much. Like, I'm sorry, what? That's like complaining that your Wi-Fi is like too fast.
I've even had girls in my comments say that it's cute that I see men as human because apparently they aren't. Like, what?
Like, we are kind of at war with men right now. Or like, I'm feeling very against men right now. I think all of you hate me.
That last part right there. We are gaining consciousness and like seeing everything about men thanks to the internet and technology at a rate like faster than we know how to deal with. And a really relevant current example.
I said, wait a minute.
I gotta stop it. Sorry, y'all. I have to cut it off, right? Because you said you're seeing at a fast paced rate about men. Because of TikTok, because of social media, men are finally seeing that about you females. They always try to flip something on the other end of the spectrum. But let me let it continue.
This we all just saw this week was, the men's U.S. hockey team standing by and being so openly supportive publicly of the women saying like they thought they were friends. And then thanks to the internet, we saw that behind the scenes phone call where the men just immediately turned their backs and made fun of the women, thinking they would never know. And that is the part right there. It's the gaining access to things we would have never in the past known. And now we see it and we don't know who we can trust. Everyone feels unsafe. I've been struggling with this too, right? I had men even a few months ago back in November I would have told you are great, that I trust them. And now in the new year, I've already lost like a good 4 or 5 men off my trusted man roster, which was already insanely small. And I do think we could go on a full essay about how a lot of this dives into the white supremacy.
So I gotta slow her down, right? Because for the past, let's say about 10 to 15 years, men have been seeing things about females being said about females. So men are saying, I don't know if I can trust them. You see what's happening? Right? The shoe is actually on the other foot. They try to make it seem like they're the ones in turmoil. Always. I'm the victim. Deep down, you know why this is happening. But you keep lying. Yes, men like to see females in pain. Why? They're known to lie. Because we see what you do on social media. You see boys being boys. That's what you see, right? Yeah, you're finally seeing boys being boys. But what have we been seeing? Girls being demons.
Real talk alert.
Extinction bursts that everyone is saying might be happening right now, and that's why we're seeing an uprising in a lot of these behaviors. Because at the end of the day, the patriarchy is really intertwined and upholds a lot of those topics as well, and many of them can't exist without each other. So when you see an extinction burst of one, it wouldn't be shocking to me that we're seeing an extinction burst of all of them. And if you don't know what that is, in short summary, it's when you have a behavior and a reward, obviously, but then you withdraw that reward in order to try and change the behavior. And obviously that upsets that group. So you see an intense increase of the behavior, hopefully for a short enough period of time. That's the thought of where MAGA was probably born out of. And the only way to continue to curb this is to double down and keep putting pressure on them to change. I do think at the end of the day, it's a combination of access to knowledge they never thought we would have, and also maybe this extinction burst theory that's going around.
Wow, so everything she said, flip it on the other end and understand that's what men are seeing. See, but I understand what it is. And you don't know it, right? Because a lot of you never look at the problems that you're causing. You don't look at the problems that you've been causing for so many years. Just when you said the patriarchy, I said another one. That's what all men are saying. And I'll say it once again. I said it in my last video. That's why men are saying, go and talk to the Berenstein Bears. Maybe they'll tell you a fairy tale, right? Remember the Berenstein Bears and the fairy tales and the stories you saw? Or guys say, go talk to Teddy Ruxpin.
My name is Teddy Ruxpin.
A cartoon bear. He's friendly. Go talk to one of those guys. Because men are not trying to hear it.
I'm so sorry. I recently found a video of me taken and put on YouTube, and it is a woman reacting to me saying that it is hard to date as a plus size woman. And the comments are full of men saying that I should just lose weight and I should not complain and that I have no empathy for big men because I wouldn't date a big man myself. So
she probably wouldn't, but I gotta say this. I'm looking at you right now. You lost weight. You would get any. You know what's funny, right? I'm imagining you with that chin slimmed off. You're like a quarter piece waiting to happen, and she doesn't even know it. See, but the thing is, once she loses the weight, woo, she's gonna be a problem. How a problem? She's gonna be the same nightmare that every other one out there is, right? But let her continue.
I should just like go into a ditch. I want to address this. I would date a big man. If a
Barely.
big old Samoan man wants to whisk me
Samoan
away,
man.
he can. Okay? Call me if you're real.
Samoan
But the
man,
truth is, my biggest frustration and my biggest thing that I get mad with when I'm dating is that men that are into big girls, because I believe there's a pot for every lid and there's a lid for every pot. I don't want to be in a relationship with a man that's not interested in me. I want you. I just said this today to a friend. I like when a man tells me that he's into big girls because then I know I'm in a safe place. And it's the same thing if you are a woman that loves short men, if you are a man that loves tall women, if you are a man that likes little tiny women, that's okay. That's okay. That's not my frustration. We all have preferences. My issue is with society and society shaming people for their interests and what they like and what they want. And, you know, I have been dating a man that secretly had a very, very skinny, very white girlfriend. I am none of those things. So when I found that out, my frustration was like, oh, okay, like.
No. Your frustration, I know what she's going to say. She's gonna lie, tell her sweet little lies. Right? So I cut her off before she did. But she saw competition and said, oh no, I can't compete.
What do you want? Because when he and I were together, he had no problem.
Oh.
I then find out that, you know, he has a problem with his skinny white girlfriend. That's not my problem, buddy. I ain't a mistress. And I ended up walking away from that. But I digress. That's a different story for a different day.
She's trying to brag.
But it's so crazy to see a video made by another woman talking about what I want is to be more desirable, so I should just go to the gym. Baby girl, no. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. I've caught men taking photos of me in public. Okay? I have been followed to the bathroom by a man. Like, that's, you guys are choosing the wrong battle. You guys are choosing the wrong battle. The problem is,
I'm going to stop it right there, right? Because nobody actually chose the battle. You chose the battle by making this video. I understand you wanted to hit the TikTok algorithm and possibly have a viral video. I understand social media, right? But you're choosing the battle. Nobody chose the battle with you. Because you said, oh, yeah, the skinny girlfriend. You're trying to picture yourself one up. Look, ladies will always say, because they'll look at you and tell you the truth, you're beautiful because you are. right? But you know what happens? They say, no, girl, you're a 9, you're a 10, and you're not. You're more like a 5 because realistically, you are overweight, and most men don't want overweight females. Even though you coming on the internet and want to brag that the man wanted you over someone else. Look, if your battle is being seen, which I think it is, then you'll do this. So we already understand as men what your battle is.
Dating so frustrating. Why? Why? So, talking to this guy on this dating app, right, for about 2 weeks, exchange phone numbers, everything's good, asks me tonight, what are your plans this weekend? When I say, oh, my kids are actually with their dad this weekend, I work on Saturday, but just half the day. How about you? Oh, I have no plans. Then nothing after that.
Who's gonna tell her?
Not would you like to meet up? Do you want to make plans? No, nothing. Why? Why even ask? Why are you even asking what my plans are?
You gotta stop it right there. I do, right? Because who knows? Like, I already know what men are going through, but you seem to not understand what's happening nowadays. And I think you lucked out because when a man says that and he may not be so sure of himself, you know, because of what's going on nowadays, maybe you're the female that's finally talked to him. He hasn't talked to someone in months and he's nervous, right? Some guys are 38 years old going through that nervousness because it happens when you haven't talked to someone in a while. But you don't realize that because you're always talked to, and men always have to talk to you, and you're desperate, right? Because no one is talking like that anymore. So instead of you letting it be known what you want, you talk about it on social media. And they all keep lying when deep down they all know why. You're the problem. This has to stop. It's 2026. Be honest.
Women out here that are complaining that their man wants to touch them too much. Like, I'm sorry, what? That's like complaining that your Wi-Fi is like too fast or your food is just too delicious. Ladies, if you have a man that's annoying you with this obsession, you know, send him my way. Because I promise you, I will not complain.
Yeah. So a little bit thirst trapping, but a lot of that's true. See, a lot of these sexy girls got a lot of pent up energy. You know, they say they're like people that are sexy that go to the gym. They're the biggest freaks. This is true. I know that for sure, right? So that's what you're seeing right here. But when men ask, what do you bring to the table? What are you really about? Show it. Thank you for showing. This is not lying.
We agree.
This age seems very, very tiring, especially for someone who wants the old traditional type of relationship. When I was on the Her app, I met a total of 4 people, and they either told me straight up or later on that they were poly. They were in a relationship and they're looking for a third. I don't do thirds. So it was just terrible. And
I gotta stop that right there. You're a lesbian. That's a whole. You guys already know about those numbers. Let's skip this. I don't want to get into that.
And then speak about men like they're the problem. Because something shifted some time ago, and it's not in a good way. There was a time where feminism actually stood for equality, fairness, respect, opportunity, and it was needed. But now I'm seeing a lot of messaging that sounds more like resentment and trying to diminish men. They're talking about men are useless, use them, all men are the same, we don't need them. I've even had girls in my comments say that it's cute that I see men as human because apparently they aren't. Like, what?
Can't make this up.
What? And yet, in the same breath, I hear women say they want to get married. With who? These animals? What is wrong with us? You cannot build something real with someone you don't respect. That's not empowerment. That's just creating a bigger divide. We need each other. And if we keep pushing this constant tension and unrealistic expectations on each other, all we're doing is making dating worse for everyone involved and creating more broken homes.
That's not going to stop, because what she said is realistic. She's thinking like a human being. When she says unrealistic expectations, she knows females have unrealistic expectations, right? And I'll say this, believe it or not, well, a lot of females, not a lot of females, but females that have their head on right understand. Not every man, like you see ladies that talk out of their behind when I want a man, but a lot of ladies are confused. They think every man out there is making 150, 200,000. And you can tell because they're young saying, I want a man that makes 500,000. I want a man that makes $1 million. Like, are you serious? And they're dead serious. They don't know. And what they're thinking about is how much money they want to spend and waste. And a lot of men are very aware of how females are thinking, and that's why they don't want to be bothered. You're losing us that way, right? So if you notice, if you look at males' content, right, if you look at the manosphere, you'll see videos on females being wasteful. Watch those videos. Learn from it. Say, okay, if men don't want this, right, and this is leaving me broke now, I need to change this about myself. I need to be an adult. I need to stop being so wasteful. Like I'll tell you guys, I went to the outlets out here in Malaysia. My wife, she got a dress and she got it from one of the stores where it was like around 200 pesos. It's like around $4. I didn't see anything because I wanted a new suit, right? Because every country I go into, I buy a suit. But in Vietnam, it was inexpensive. In the Philippines, inexpensive. Here, it was like 12,000 pesos. Usually in the Philippines, that gets me two suits. 12,000 is like around 240. Yes, to me, 240 is quite a lot when I get suits for $100. You can't beat it. Why did I say that? I said that because I also mentioned my wife got a skirt for $4. $4. And she got it because it looks nice on her. That's what it's about.
Bullshit. Because everybody's halfway in and halfway out. Everybody's halfway in a relationship. I'm talking to somebody. Oh, my situationship. Oh, my friends with benefits. Like, for me, it's either we're boyfriend and girlfriend or we're not. Like, I'm so fucking over this stage bullshit. It's dumb. It's stupid. Like, if you're going to give me an actual commitment, I'm going to give you an actual commitment. And I'm only going to commit to you. You know, like I would delete my entire social media for a dude. Like seriously, I want a healthy relationship. That is what I want. I don't want a half in, half out, half ass relationship. The problem with dating these days is the fact that everybody is so traumatized and so scared to get hurt because they've been hurt. And you know, like I don't know if this is true for people in their early 20s, but for people in their 30s and their 40s, I hear this all the time. They're too traumatized from their previous relationship to even want to try to open up to somebody else again. And I know what that feels like. I can't say that it's going to be easy for me to open up to a new person. I don't think I can. And that's terrifying. Like, that's awful. Why would anybody want to feel like that? You know? I'm not perfect. And I mean, I've obviously made mistakes. You know, I don't want to hurt people either. And I don't want to date somebody and then hurt them because the last time that I did that did not end well. I don't want to be that person. That's not who I want to be. Dating is hard because there's so many damaged people out there that are trying to date or that are wanting to just, you know, add bodies, if you get what I'm saying. And it's sad.
Observe before.
Women get hurt by men because, you know, the dude's like a player or whatever, breaks her heart, and then she becomes vengeful and decides that she just wants to go screw a bunch of dudes. Not me, but, you know, wants to go screw a bunch of dudes and become like a man-eater. And then she becomes a man-eater and destroys men. And then the men that are getting destroyed by her turn into players. It is literally a vicious cycle. That is exactly how it is. That is why we are traumatized. You know, I want to get married. I want to have babies. I mean, I probably can't really have babies anymore because I'm so old. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, know it.
But
Divorce
I want a family. I want to cook. I want to clean. I want to have like a garden and a yard to take care of. Like, I want to have like, I want to make somebody dinner every night for the rest of my life. I want to make like dessert.
Right. I gotta pause it, right? Because a lie is a half truth. You're telling us half truths. You heard what she said. I'm too old. It's all right. You told us how old you are. Situationships. You said it like you've been through a thousand of them because you probably have, because you probably started them, because you probably didn't respect men that were like, oh, I want to take you. Believe it or not, a lot of girls don't respect men taking them out on dates. That's facts. That is a fact. Girls say they want it now. Girls get right down to business. That's facts. What do you see all girls say? Oh, I'm easy for the guy I want. And that's a problem. That's a deep, serious problem. That's trauma. A lot of them have trauma issues. They traumatized from men, as she explained. And men are traumatized and say no more. But once men say no more, of course, they come around to it, but not with a girl like you. At your age, your time has come. You're probably divorced too.
And make them happy by making dessert. Like, I want that. I really want that. I want to cook with somebody. That's like, my love language is obviously cooking. But I'm just saying, like, I don't understand this. Oh, I'm talking to this guy. Talking shit. Okay? I'm over it. Talking shit. Okay? We go on like 2 dates. All right, let's try this out. You know, I'm too old to waste time anymore.
That's not happening.
I'm done with it. You either want me or you don't. If you don't want me, break up with me. It's easy. Bye. You know, men do it all the time. So do women. I get it. I'm not bitter. I am, but I'm not. You get what I'm saying? You know, it's everybody. It's sexless. It's everybody does it. Everybody has problems.
Sexless.
Okay? And dude, get your attachment styles straightened out. Figure out how to fix your before you start talking to somebody. If you're anxious, get control of that. Stop acting like a if you're avoidant, stop ignoring people. It's traumatizing. Okay? Rant over.
I just want to know, why did you divorce your husband? Seriously, because she sound like one of those girls? Well, you know, I'm used to being in a relationship. I swore she was gonna say it. She just didn't say it. I'm used to being wiped up. You know, I was wiped up for 25 years. What happened? Oh, well, you know, he didn't treat me right. The same old, same old. You got to show it now. So she says her love language is cooking. I want to see videos like.
Who does she think she is? Honey, I'm me, and I enjoy this process. I like to romanticize my life.
Oh my God. I've never done that before. This was on fire.
You see, when you make your everyday...
Now, I got to say this. This lady is not a spring chicken. I can see it all on it, all in her face. She don't have to say a word. But what is she doing? Showing, improving. Like, that's what you need to do. Just make a bunch of cooking videos. Shut down all the talking, right? Make a bunch of cooking videos. Dressing sexy. That'll get your man.
activities a little bit more special and sparkle just for you, whether it's meal prepping for your household, goals align with the body that you want to see, or cleaning up your kitchen, whatever it is, you are more invested in the task and you find ways to enjoy it, you will sustain it and be more consistent, therefore having a better life.
Yeah, I'm showing you what I bring to the table. That's what men.
I think dating's been destroyed by modern day dating apps. no one yearns anymore. No one courts. It's all done for the easiest possible way to get the job done, get someone into bed, or just slap a label on it and say, oh, you're my girlfriend now, you're my boyfriend now. There's no effort. No one's interested in actually trying to get someone and keeping them, or they do manage to get someone and then the effort changes and it's like, well, I've got you now, so I don't need to do anything more with that. And this is why I want to stay single, because I don't want half-assed effort.
And I kind of need, like, to know. I kind of know already, but I kind of want confirmation, you know? So let's start this in, like, September. September, there's a club that I go to. Not very often, maybe once a month. There is this beautiful, sexy security guard. He has braids, he's handsome, right? I, however, will never go up to him because he's working, and I don't want to be that girl. Anyway, leave it, right? I'm like, whatever. He'll just be the sexy stranger that I see at the club. I go on Tinder, and I match with this guy. Sweet, cute, whatever. I don't know. Just a man. He actually double texted me because I didn't reply the first time, and he was like, hey, why don't you come over and smoke tonight? I was like, okay. So he gave me his number. I talked before, and he just, like, never replied, like, a couple months prior. So I was, like, pulling his leg about that. Whatever. Go over. We're chatting. He's like, what'd you do this weekend? You know, like, I went here, I went there. And he's like, oh, you didn't see me at the club? I'm a bouncer there. Huh? He's like, yeah, like, I do this. Mind you, that's always the man that I'm in love with. So I was like, oh my god, take off. Because he had his bonnet on. And, yep, bang bong, it's the fuck I've been in love with for months. He's very sweet. He's very kind. Like, easy to talk to. He does kind of go on about himself a decent amount. Like, you know, he's like, you know when men are like, I know I'm hot, but, like, and they just say it. That's just, I didn't like that. Chill out. And, like, he's a bouncer at a club, so I know the attention he gets. I'm not stupid. So, obviously, he's gonna have an ego about him. Whatever. Plans for a date. Or on a Sunday. Right? On a Sunday. He calls me, and he's like, hey, I got called in to work a special event. I can't, like, do dinner tonight, but, like, you could pick me up after. And I was like, okay, cool. Mind you, right? Downtown, where the clubs are, is, like, 30-minute drive. So, it's a decent drive. He says, pick me up at OK King. I get there for 11, and I text him. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Crickets. I wait for a little bit. 20 minutes later, an ambulance shows up, right? This ambulance, I'm like thinking maybe it's for him, so I'm like not leaving yet. I end up waiting for an hour. An hour. No text, no nothing. He texts me and he goes, hey, where are you? I'm still here. And he's like, hey, just like go back to my house. I'll meet you there. I'm gonna Uber. Huh? So I'm here. He doesn't answer me for 15 minutes. So I'm like, do you know what? No, I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. He calls me and he's like, hey, why'd you leave? And I was like, you completely disrespected my time. I've been sitting here for an hour now, and you haven't even texted me back. And he's like, well, I didn't know you were here. You never texted me. So I, like, replied to the comment, or, like, to the text where I said I'm here. And he's like, see, you sent that at 12:30 just now. And I said, nuh-uh, babe. I replied to a text that I sent. And I was yelling. I was fully yelling. It's 30 at night. I'm supposed to pick him up. He's, like, drunk as on the phone with me, not making any sense. I get home. I call him. And we're talking, and he's like, well, like, you should have called me, like, none of this, our plans wouldn't have been ruined if you called me. And I was like, number one, we never discussed doing that. Number two, you told me where you were at work, so I didn't want to call you while you were at work. And number three, if your phone was on Do Not Disturb, which I imagine it was, that's why you didn't get my text message, you wouldn't have gotten my call anyways, babe. So, what's going on here? So I leave it for the night, I wake up, we're supposed to have, like, a thing planned that day. I cancel it. I lie, and I say that my mom, wants me to stay over at my sister's house. I'm just going over to my friend's house because I was like, I need to talk to a man about this. I'm gonna blur his name. I told Stefan about what happened, and Stefan was like, dude, why are you still talking to this bum ass man? I'm like, bro, I don't fuck. I texted him later that night, the bodyguard, and I'm like, hey, dude.
You said the guy was a bodyguard, so he said he had to go to work. I think she said, so he went to work and drunk because he probably was drinking at work. After work, I'm lost. I'm confused because she wants to give him the goods, but she wants him to dance around, and he's not going to dance around. I'm sure he deaded her. I'm going to end it right here because I'm sure he deaded her and stopped talking to her. But this is what happens, right? Because you keep lying. You keep lying to yourself. You're saying, I'm special. I deserve this certain attention when you don't want that attention. You want the sparks. You got excited when you saw it was him, but you still dance around. But deep down, you want to give it up. Who knows? She probably did. But this is what they do. Dance. And what do they do also? They lie to each other. So they do the same thing. They get on the internet and lie. But what you see a lot of nowadays, you see a lot of truth being told. A lot of these females are telling the truth. Especially when they're, oh yeah, I slept with 4 guys in the same night. And you see it when they drunk out at parties and they're telling all. So watch those things. Men are watching and learning. Thank you for that. But yeah, thank y'all for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe. Other than that, peace out. See you next video.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.